Coin hunters, we're counting down the top 3 most extremely rare and valuable bicentennial quarters you could ever find. Stick around, because the last one on this list might just blow your mind and prove pocket change can be life-changing. Imagine that very same coin, a 1976 Bicentennial Quarter dollar, being worth not 25 cents, not a few dollars, but hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars. Yes, you heard me right. Some of these bicentennial quarters, especially those with rare errors, are so incredibly valuable that collectors around the world are paying life-changing sums of money to get their hands on them. The history behind the 1976 Bicentennial Quarter. To truly understand why this coin is so special, let's go back to the early 1970s. The United States was preparing for a once-in-a-lifetime event, the Bicentennial Celebration of American Independence, marking 100 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776, the U.S. Mint wanted to do something extraordinary to honor this milestone, so they authorized a brand new design for 3 coins, the quarter, the half dollar, and the dollar for the quarter, instead of the usual eagle reverse. The rare 1976 errors that make this coin valuable. Let's get into the juicy details, the errors and varieties that transform a 25-cent coin into a jackpot. Off-center strikes. But if it's dramatically off-center, with missing legends or dates, it can sell for $1,000 to $3,000 more. Double die obverse DDO. Values range from $3,000 to $5,000, depending on condition and strength of doubling. Wrong planchette errors. Imagine a bicentennial quarter struck on a dime-sized planchette. It weighs less and looks totally bizarre. These oddities can bring $10,000 to $50,000 at auction. Silver transitional errors. Some Denver quarters were mistakenly struck on leftover 40% silver plankets meant for special collector sets. If you find a 1976 D quarter that weighs 5.75 grams instead of 5.67, you might have one of these silver transition errors. These have sold for $20,000 to $100,000 plus in top condition. Clipped planchette errors. Minor clips are worth a few $100s, but dramatic ones can go for $1,000 to $3,000. Full brockage errors. Bicentennial quarters with this type of error have fetched $15,000 to $30,000. The record-breaking sales. In 2020, a rare 1976 Bicentennial quarter struck on a silver planchette sold for over $220,000 at auction. Another specimen, struck on a foreign planchette, reached nearly $350,000. And some experts believe that unique, spectacular examples could fetch over $1 million if the right collector comes along. That's why collectors, treasure hunters, and everyday Americans are obsessed with checking their change. Because you never know when a life-changing coin could fall into your hands. How to identify a rare 1976 error quarter? So how do you know if your bicentennial quarter is valuable? Check the weight. Normal clad quarters weigh 5.67 grams. If your coin is heavier or lighter, it could be struck on the wrong planchette. Look at the edges. A silver transitional error will have a solid silver edge instead of the usual copper-colored stripe. Examine the design. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubled lettering, missing details, or off-center strikes. Look for damage versus mint errors. Remember, damage from circulation doesn't increase value. Genuine mint errors are the true treasures. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the rare and valuable 1976 error bicentennial quarter dollar, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another video about rare coins that could be hiding in your pocket change. That's the story of the 1965 era Washington quarter, one of the most shocking and valuable coins in U.S. history. In this video, we'll explore the history of the 1965 quarter, the minting mistakes that make some of them priceless, the secrets collectors look for, and the jaw-dropping auctions where ordinary-looking coins sold for life-changing money. To understand why the 1965 quarter is so special, we need to travel back in time. For decades, U.S. quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. But by the early 1960s, America was facing a serious problem, a national coin shortage. Silver prices were rising. People weren't just spending quarters, they were hoarding them, melting them, and saving them for their silver content. The U.S. Mint couldn't keep coins in circulation fast enough. The solution? In 1965, Congress ordered the removal of silver from dimes and quarters. Instead of silver, the new coins would be made of a copper-nickel clad composition, essentially a copper core with a nickel outer layer. Now let's break down the types of errors that make these coins so valuable. 1965 silver planchette error, the holy grail. Collectors call these transitional errors, and they are worth thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Off-center strikes, dramatic examples can bring $500 to $5,000, double strikes and multiple strikes. These spectacular errors can sell for $2,000 to $10,000. Wrong planchette errors. These rarities can fetch $5,000 to $15,000 or more. Clipped plankets. Values range from hundreds to low thousands. Die breaks and cuts. Depending on severity, these can bring in hundreds to thousands. Why are they worth so much? So why do collectors go crazy for these error quarters? Historical significance. 1965 marked the death of silver coinage in America. Transitional errors from this year are seen as rare survivors of the Silver Age. Extreme rarity. Very few silver planchette 1965 quarters escaped the mint. Most were caught and destroyed. Collector demand. Quarters are one of the most collected denominations in U.S. coinage. Demand is sky high. Condition and certification. Graded examples in uncirculated or mint state condition multiply in value dramatically. This combination makes certain 1965 error quarters worth millions, truly life-changing finds. Famous auction sales. Now let's look at the record-breaking sales that stunned the coin world in 2014. A 1965 quarter struck on a silver planchette sold for $7,050. In 2019, another high-grade silver transitional error sold for over $50,000. And the most incredible, a gem-quality 1965 silver error quarter, authenticated and certified, reached six figures at auction. Experts estimate that in the right conditions, the unique example could push toward the $1 million mark. Imagine a coin worth 25 cents turning into a fortune. How to spot a 1965 error quarter. Here's how you can check your own coins. Weigh the coin. A normal clad quarter weighs 5.67 grams. A silver error weighs 6.25 grams. Use a jeweler's scale. Check the edge. A clad quarter shows a copper stripe on the edge. A silver error will appear solid silver. Look for off-center strikes. These are easy to spot with the naked eye. Examine for doubling. Shadows or overlapping letters and images could mean a double strike. Certification. If you think you've found one, get it graded by PCGS, NGC, or Annex to confirm. Could you have one hiding at home? Here's the exciting part. Thousands of 1965 quarters are still in circulation, hiding in change jars, coin rolls, or family collections. That means you could stumble upon a valuable error without even realizing it. The key is careful checking. Don't assume every quarter is worth only 25 cents. Some could pay for your next car, your next house, or even change your life forever. Conclusion. So there you have it, the incredible story of the 1965 error Washington Quarter. A coin born in a time of change, carrying mistakes worth fortunes, and still hiding in collections and coin jars across the country. From simple off-center strikes worth hundreds, to dramatic wrong plankets worth thousands, all the way to the legendary silver planchette transitional error, a single quarter that could sell for millions of dollars. When it comes to the 1976 Bicentennial Quarter with rare errors, that dream can turn into reality. Collectors worldwide are hunting for these historic coins because some rare error varieties have sold at jaw-dropping prices in major auctions. Some high-grade examples with dramatic errors could even push into six-figure or million-dollar territory, making them one of the most exciting coins in U.S. history. The Bicentennial celebration and why the 1976 quarter is special. The year 1976 was no ordinary year for the United States. It marked the 200th anniversary of America's independence. To celebrate this milestone, the U.S. Mint issued special commemorative bicentennial coins across 3 denominations. For the first time in modern history, circulating U.S. coins received a special dual date, 1776 to 1976, to honor the bicentennial. The Washington Quarter was given a fresh reverse design, featuring the famous colonial drummer boy, designed by Jack Lahr. Why error coins are worth big money. Before we dive into the most valuable bicentennial errors, let's answer an important question. Why are mint errors so valuable? Errors happen when something goes wrong during the minting process. Most coins are struck perfectly, but when mistakes slip through, they become rare and rarity drives up collector demand. The more dramatic the error, the higher the price. Some errors are so rare that only a few examples are known to exist. Combine that with the historical importance of the bicentennial, and you've got a recipe for coins worth small fortunes. Double die obverse DDO and double die reverse DDR. Or the 1776 to 1976 date can fetch $500 to $5,000, depending on clarity and grade. Off-center strikes, mild off-centers 5 to 10%, might sell for $100, $300. But dramatic ones 50% or more off-center, while still showing the date, can skyrocket past $5,000. Clipped blankets, Bicentennial Quarters with clean, visible clips can sell for $200 to $1,500, depending on the size and visibility of the error. Wrong planchette strikes. These can bring $10,000 to $50,000, and in pristine condition, or rare metals, values can soar even higher. Silver Bicentennial Quarters, rare errors or high-grade silver quarters, can fetch $500 to $5,000. Full strike, high-grade MS6, 7 MS6, 9 examples. Coins graded MS6, 7 MS6, 9 by PCGS or NGC can sell for $7,000 to $20,000 plus. Auction records and sales highlights, a 1976D Bicentennial Quarter in MS68 sold for over $6,000. A dramatic off-metal error struck on a silver planchette sold for $25,000. Some rare double-die errors in high grade have sold for $10,000, $15,000. Theoretically, the most dramatic wrong planchette or double strike errors could push into the hundreds of thousands, and some collectors speculate even million-dollar values for unique pieces. If you want to join the treasure hunt, here's what to look for. Examine lettering carefully. Doubling is often subtle but valuable. Check the rims and edges, off-centers, broad strikes, and clips appear here. Weigh your coin. If it doesn't match the standard 5.67 grams, it might be a wrong planchette strike. Use magnification. Many errors are invisible to the naked eye. Get certification. If you believe you have a valuable error, submit it to PCGS, NGC, or ANAX for grading and authentication. Conclusion. The 1976 Bicentennial Quarter is more than just a 25-cent coin. With rare errors and high-grade conditions, it can be worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars. From double dies to wrong planchette strikes, these coins continue to capture the imagination of collectors and treasure hunters alike. So the next time you see a Bicentennial Quarter with the drummer boy design, don't spend it, inspect it. You could be holding one of the most valuable error coins in U.S. history.